The grid note template is the only note format in which the system allows for multi-note approval. Because there is likelihood that a grid note can contain many goals and many different keys to address the goals, the multi-note approval can provide efficiency when it comes to the amount of time it takes to approve notes. It also provides the opportunity to line up multiple days' worth of notes to be able to closely compare one day's activity versus another. Just as in the daily note approval process, only supervisors of the note have the authority to approve notes. For more information on how supervisors are assigned to notes, please see the video titled Approving Notes. While the unsigned, unapproved notes dashlet on the dashboard will be a great tool for understanding the notes ready to be approved, the multi-note approval will need to be executed from the Search Notes grid in the Notes desktop. Since grid notes are the only templates eligible for multi-approval, you may want to begin filtering your list of notes to only show grid notes. This will eliminate all other note templates from the search grid. Use the Note Template filter to do so. Further, you may want to use the Caregiver Signature filter and Supervisor Billing Approval filter so that only signed but unapproved notes display. Remember, only notes that are signed by the caregiver are ready for approval. From here, you will then select the notes that share the same client, service, and caregiver. Once you have made your selections, click Approve Grid Notes. You will be presented with a form that includes the dates of service from the notes across the top. Each of the goals that were addressed within that date range will also be displayed with the intervention and assessment keys that were used to address the goal. You can scroll through the form to begin queuing the notes for compliance and accuracy. If you determine that any of the notes require corrections before you can approve, then you need to close out of the window. Do not yet hit Approve. It is recommended to use the Task feature so that you can provide internal communication to the caregiver regarding the needed corrections. You will open up the individual note that requires the correction, go to the Task tab, and assign the task accordingly. To learn more about the workflow of tasks, see the video titled Managing the Task feature. If there were multiple notes that did pass inspection and were ready for approval, then make your selections again from the Search Notes grid. Click the Approved Grid Notes button, and when you are ready to approve, click Approve. Before we do this, take note that this form does not show the start time and end time or duration, whichever is being used to capture time. You will want to review that info from the search grid prior to approving. Since the start time and end time or duration will calculate the correct amount of units to bill for the service, you will want to ensure that those times are reflected appropriately. Once you have verified that all information on the notes are correct, then click Approve. After clicking the Approve button, if your company is using the Timesheets feature, you will see both Approve for Billing and Approve for Payroll. If your company is not using timesheets, then you will only see approved for billing. Check accordingly so that the note may then travel the correct path to billing and/or payroll. When left unchecked, the note will not move forward to the respective area. When marking the note as approved for billing, this action is also putting the supervisor's signature on the note. If the supervisor's signature is not a required component of the note, there is an option to approve but not sign. To learn more about removing the supervisor's signature from the note so that only the caregiver's signature is applied, please see the video titled Approving Notes. To finish the approval, enter in your password. Once the notes are approved, they will no longer display in the dashlet on the dashboard. A new DMS version is created on the DMS tab of every note that shows the final copy of the note, with or without the signature, based on the setting. It will also display the timestamp of the approval. This completes the workflow for the multi-note approval process. Please send any questions you have to support by going to Options, Support, Contact Support.